Hey everybody, I'm Lexford. Today I'll be showing you how to use the load order tool. It comes as part of the load order mod for City Skylines. I assume if you're watching this video, you've already subscribed to the load order mod. This mod does a lot of great things on its own, mostly changing which mods load in which order and prioritizing harmony above all others, and reducing some errors you can get when playing with mods. But I'm going to show you how to use the load order tool that comes with this game, with the mod, because it's very useful but not very well explained in how to use it, and it's a bit of a complicated process and setup process, but once you get there, it gives you some great functionality in terms of having different presets for which kind of mods you want running, which assets, and lets you kind of create XML files and share those with others. So maybe certain YouTubers or content creators you like have different XML files they'll share of mod lists, and that sort of thing allows you to just instantly pop them right into your game, and a whole bunch of other functionalities we'll go over here as well. So the first thing that you're going to need to do, I'm assuming you've already subscribed to the loading order mod on the workshop. If you haven't, do so here. I'll link it down in the description, and then both of these required items as well, Harmony and Patch Loader mod. I trust you know how to do that. The next step is going to be download .NET6. The mod creator listed a link here in the mod page. I will link it down in the description as well. Just pull up the page using one of those links here like so, and what you're looking for is under the latest release here, which for me currently is 6.0.13. We're going to go for Windows, because I'm playing on Windows, and x64. You might have a different kind of system, but chances are you're looking for x64. And just click download. In Firefox, my download will pop up right here. When it's done, you can open it and install it just like you would any other program. Once it's done, you can close that out, and here you're going to need to restart your computer. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, once you've got your computer restarted with that .NET runtime installed, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and launch City Skylines and bring up the content manager here. Find your mods list, and we are going to enable the load order mod if it's not already. And then we're going to enable the patch loader mod, and it's important that you do it in that order. They might just take a second here to load like I did. So then we'll do the patch loader mod. Turn that one on. It'll give you a little warning here just saying that you need to restart the game for this to take effect. That's okay. Click OK. Close out of that. And it looks like your game might crash when you turn on that patch loader mod. That is alright. Game's closed. Don't worry, the mod should be enabled. If not, you can always go back and enable it later. Next thing we're going to have to do is go find the actual executable for the load order tool. Again, this is a separate tool from the mod that you use outside of the game, even when the game's not running, and it's downloaded with the mod file. So what we need to go do now is go and fish it out. It's going to be located wherever your Steam installation folder is. And I think the easiest way to get there, if you don't know how, is to find City Skylines, right-click on it in Steam, click Properties, Local Files, and then we're going to browse the local files. That's going to pull up a window of the game installation, which by default falls under the Steam installation. So what we're going to do is we're going to back up here to where it says Steam Apps. In here, you should find a workshop folder, then a content folder. Then we're going to go to 255710. For me, it's in the middle here. You're going to have a whole bunch of folders in here if you have a bunch of assets and mods downloaded like I do. Don't worry, we're going to search for 24488241112. Press enter, and that'll pull up that exact folder. And this is the folder that the load order mod is downloaded to. Here, you should find right in here a folder called Tool, and then Load Order Tool. What I'm going to do is click on it, then right-click, create a shortcut, and then just bring that over to my desktop. Boom. Alrighty, so once you've got that dragged to your desktop, just go ahead and double-click on that, and it will bring open the Load Order Tool for you. In it, you can see all of your mods listed here, as well as you can find a list of assets, all your DLCs, content creator packs, and I assume map packs and music packs as well, but I don't have any of those, but I assume they'd show up here. a tab here for the loading screen mod with some additional options, and then a launch tab. And we're just going to go through each of these one by one, and I'll talk you through the basics of how to use this tool. Like I said, I have like a working knowledge of this. I'm not an expert, but I can get you going with this and to a working point with it. So at a most basic level, what you're going to want to do is come up here to order and reset order. That's going to rearrange the order that the game loads all the mods in the most optimal way to prevent any errors in your game as it's loading in. This tool does provide the functionality to manually change the order mods load in. However, I'm not sure like what the utility of that is, why you would ever need to do so. You should be good to go here with order and reset order. You also have different options here for the mods as well. You can see this include column and enabled column for every single mod. For example, we've got traffic manager right here. If I wanted to disable that mod, I could just uncheck this, this enabled column right here. And what that's going to do is treat it as if in the content manager, right? In the content manager tab, you just clicked the toggle and turned it off. If I wanted to remove it from the game completely, but not have to like unsubscribe and then go resubscribe later if I ever wanted to bring it back, I could also uncheck this include box. And what's that's going to do is the game is going to treat it as if it's not installed at all. You won't even see it as an option in the content manager. I generally like to leave them included. If you want to exclude them entirely instead of just disable them, that's up to you. But of course, I want traffic manager in my game, so I'm going to leave that enabled. And you can see over here, you've got mass options to include and exclude all mods. I'll also mention that the mods that are included with the game are here as well. Your unlimited money, oil and ore, etc. So you can adjust those here, and this is a great time saver so that when you add mods or want to remove mods, you can do it before you even launch the game, saving you some time. I think that's it for the mods tab here. If you come over to the assets tab, it's also pretty self-explanatory. You've got these mass include and exclude buttons. If I wanted to exclude all my assets for some reason, I can click here. Of course, I want all these in for my game right now, or you could go through individually as well. And of course, you've got the search bar up here as well. DLC tab we already talked about. And then we'll come over to the launch tab here. Once you've got your mods set up in the way you want, you've got a number of options for launching the game, and I'd highly recommend if you have this tool installed, use this to launch the game as opposed to launching it through Steam. So if you check this box, it's going to enable every asset that you have as the tooltip is telling you. If you check the no assets box, it'll launch without any assets, but you'll still have all your mods, just not any of your buildings, vehicles, etc. that you've downloaded. And no workshop, of course, excludes all workshop content, i.e. just launches a vanilla game. If you click main menu here, it'll launch right into the main menu. If you have asset editor, it'll launch into the asset editor, and if you have this checkbox selected, it will even like go right into a new asset in the editor. If you want to load a specific save, just check this little radio button here, and you can choose any save you have. I'm going to stick with my King's Landing map that I've been working on recently, or you could launch into a new game as well. Down here, these are all pretty self-explanatory. Steam.exe versus cities.exe is just asking, really, do you want to have Steam features enabled in-game or not? So I just leave it set to Steam, and these two I never really mess with, but I think they're pretty self-explanatory. And once you're ready to launch the game, just come down here and click this button. It'll skip a lot of the intro stuff and should make your launch a little faster. And when you're done playing, you can just use the terminate button here to exit the game, and it'll be a quick exit straight to the desktop. Okay, so let's talk about XML profiles and how you can save your setup, have different setups. So if you maybe have like a lightly modded build, a heavily modded build, a vanilla build, how you can use this to, with just the click of a button, swap between those. If you come up here to the File button and click on Import, it'll pull up a folder here. And inside, you can see I have this King's Landing folder. This is my XML profile for my current build that I'm using. Right, so I can click on Open, and it's going to bring up a bunch of options right here. If you are downloading a profile from someone, say a content creator, a friend, what have you, chances are they have different mods and assets you don't. So it would list any of the missing ones here, and then you could come over and click the Subscribe to All button, or just subscribe to the missing ones, because you may have some already. And then you can click Reload if you want to like just, it's like refreshing the page. And what you want to do, if you want to put this profile you downloaded, or in this case the profile I made, and have it replace all your settings here, just click replace. Boom, and it's added that in. You can see the last profile down here I had was King's Landing. But let's say I wanted to create a vanilla game, but with only some of my assets, right? So for some reason, let's say I want to disable all of my mods, I could click that button, come over to assets, and let's say I wanted to exclude all of my assets except for, say this map that I downloaded from the workshop. I only wanted to include that one, otherwise have it be a purely vanilla game. I could do that, come up here to File, I'll click Export, and I'll call that Vanilla Plus. Hit Enter, and if we come back to Import, you can see Vanilla Plus is here, right? But if I wanted to go back to the King's Landing, right, it says use Import, King's Landing, Open, Replace, and boom, it's back to how it was. Last thing I'll leave you with this mod is you can open the file location for any mods. So earlier when we had to go find the file for the load order mod, there's a much easier way we could do that. We could just come up here and search for it. Right click on it now that we have this installed and click Open File Location, and it'll pull up the file location here for you. And you can do that with any mod or asset. And that's pretty much it for the load order tool. It's a great time saver, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, consider hitting the subscribe and or the like button. Leave a comment down below with any questions you may still have, and I'll do my best to answer those promptly. Thanks for watching.